Okay, so question number 37 is dealing with complex numbers. And what we want to remember is the definition of I. That is the square root of -1. And what we need to remember for these problems is that when we see I squared, we always want to replace that with -1. Because if I is the square root of -1, we square that, we will get a -1 for I squared. So this is very important. Okay, so for the first problem, we want to take two binomials. You can use the box method or FOIL. So we have 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 3i is 21i. Negative 3i times 7 is negative 21i. And negative 3i times positive 3i is going to be a minus 9i squared. Remember, I squared is a -1. So we get a negative times a negative, which is a positive 9. The two inner terms will cancel, and we get 49 plus 9, or 58, for the final answer. Okay, the second problem is just distributing the monomial here. So 6i times 2 will give you 12i. 6i times negative 3i will be a negative 18i squared. Again, never leave I squared in your answer because we replaced that with a -1. So the negative 18 times -1 will give us a positive 18. Remember, we want to rewrite this in the form a plus bi, so we get 18 plus 12i for our final answer. Okay, and the last example here, remember when we have a quantity squared, do not distribute the square to each of them. This means that 8 minus 5i is being multiplied by itself. So we do our box method or FOIL, whichever one you prefer. 64 will be from the 8 times 8. And we get the negative 40i, negative 40i. And the last terms, be careful on this, is a negative 5i times negative 5i, positive 25i squared. Once again, that I squared is a -1. So 25 times -1 just gives you a -25. It's just going to flip that sign. And remember to combine your like terms. So 64 minus 25 does give us 39. And then we have the negative 80i from the inner terms. That's that. Okay, so I would pause your video and try these three problems. And check your solutions. And hopefully we did those right. All right, so the second part of this problem, or this question, will be asking you to solve a quadratic equation that will result in having complex solutions. So we have x squared minus 4x plus 5 equals 0. Notice we have a quadratic. So you have your choice actually here of using quadratic formula or completing the square. On this one we chose to complete the square, so subtract the 5 to the other side. Take half of your -4 and square it. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. Remember to balance it out. Factor your left side of the equation, which is going to be x minus 2 quantity squared. Simplify the right side, -5 plus 4, we'll have -1. Once we get there, remember to undo the squared. We square root both sides, giving us x minus 2 on the left side. Remember, a square root of a negative is always going to give us an I. So square root of -1 is just I. Don't forget that plus minus, so plus minus I. And the last step, solve for x, so we need to add 2 to both sides, giving us 2 plus or minus I. Okay. Second problem. Okay, once again, we could use the quadratic formula here, or we can complete the square. If we complete the square, we can subtract the 13 to the other side. And then take half of our b and square it. So half of 6 squared is 9. We're going to add 9 to both sides. Then we factor the left side, which is going to give us x plus 3 quantity squared. On the right side, simplify, so negative 13 plus 9 is negative 4. Undo the square, square root both sides, giving us x plus 3 on the left side, and plus or minus 2i on the right side. Last but not least, solve for x, so we subtract 3, giving us negative 3 plus or minus 2i. All right, so here are 4 additional problems you can try. And then I would pause and check your solutions. And good luck on this problem. Okay, and check your solutions here.